This is Jeff Okudah, the cornerback from Ohio State, viewed as the top defensive back in this entire draft, and you are now on Good Morning Football. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, man. I'm glad to be here.
I love talking to this guy. We were talking while you were doing your news, Will, and I just asked Jeff, what's it like seeing a guy like Gruden, and what's it like meeting all these NFL coaches? And really, Jeff, what's it like being here as a part of the NFL's first introduction to what this world will be?
It's surreal. Sitting in the room with Gruden on Wednesday. We were just talking football, and he's like, hey, man, are you from planet Earth? I said, yeah, I just like football a lot.
That's the thing. I mean, everyone talks about your game, and it's Okudah is the cleanest prospect in this draft, and he loves ball. Tell us about your passion for football, where it began, and really how it plays out into the field.
I started playing Madden in third grade. So
Madden, okay.
Every single day. It was one with Sean Alexander on it.
Yeah.
So I'm playing
37
Madden.
Seahawks, let's go.
A beast. So I'm playing Madden every single day, and the computer's just kicking me in. So then eventually I'm like, I want to play in real life. Like, this video game stuff's not cutting it anymore. And since then I kind of just fell in love.
Go to Ohio State, and I mean, I look at the names out of Ohio State in defensive backfield, and whether it starts with Bradley Roby, but you go all the way down to Denzel Ward, who was a top defensive player in the draft, Marshawn Lattimore, I can go on and on and on. What makes Ohio State defensive backs so good, and then so good at the next level as well?
I think it's just about trying to be better than the defensive back that came before you, because the bar is always set so high at Ohio State as what's the expectation for a great corner. So for me, it's about Denzel set the bar high, really high. And I wanted to take that bar and I wanted to move it up a little bit higher for the next guy. And then it's the next guy's want to move it up higher for the next guy. And it just goes from there. The
standard of excellence. Yet I look at LSU and they consider themselves DBU, Defensive Back University. And I don't know, does Ohio State challenge that?
See, we don't challenge it. We don't even concern ourselves with that anymore. DBU, they could have DBU. We call it BIA, Best in America.
BIA! I like that. BIA, and that's like a thing.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
And that's through the generations. BIA.
Through the generations. Look it up. Do the research.
Do the research.
Do the research on it.
I love it. All right. So what's your game at the pros? Because you did it all, and the Jalen Ramsey comparisons continue to come up. But if you're a fan at home and you've got a top 5 pick, and you're like, am I going to spend it on a defensive back? What are they getting in Jeff Okudah?
You're going to get a straight technician. I mean, if you really love football, watch the tape. You'll see someone that really is in love with being a better player. Technique is something I really pride myself on. I know that when the athleticism fades away, the technique will always be there. So that's something that I've just always prided myself on, and something that I care deeply about.
Spoke with a scout earlier this week, and he's like, this kid not only loves ball, but he's a student of the game, and not just the opponent for the week, but the history of the game and the players at that position in the NFL. So who are some of the NFL corners that you watch? And not going to compare you to them, but who do you watch when you say you're a technician and say, oh, that's good, I'm going to take some tips from that guy?
Every Sunday, I think the biggest guys I watch are Patrick Peterson and Stephon Gilmore.
Okay.
Those are guys that you could tell that they're really profound in their craft, guys that they study the receivers, they do all their homework, and I mean, you see them, they reap the rewards of that on Sundays, for sure.
When these NFL GMs are talking to you in these interviews, and these interviews are at times laborious, you've got to do all the teams, and they say, why should I pick you? What do you say?
I say you're going to get a work ethic that's just off the charts. I'll never get complacent because I feel like it's always a constant chase. You're always chasing something. So right now I'm chasing some of the great corners in the game right now, and there's corners that are chasing me. So I feel like if you understand the constant chase, you'll always be good on the field.
You played on a defense with one of the other top defensive prospects, Chase Young. We had him on the show yesterday. He lit us up with his personality. But he's also considered the top prospect on many of these boards. What about Chase Young makes him so special? And you played on a defense with Nick Bosa. You played on a defense with several other defensive talents. What makes Chase Young stand out?
I think Chase understands the chase as well. I mean, not to be
no
ironic.
pun.
Yeah, no pun intended. But he was always wanting to be the best defensive lineman to ever come to Ohio State. His bar was set really high, and so he had a constant motor to get to that goal. So the crazy things he's done, he kind of spoke into existence. I mean, leading up to the season, he told me, I want to be the first DN to get 40 sacks.
40.
I said 40 sacks. he said, because if you put it at 40, you might hit 20, and 20 is still special. And it's kind of crazy to see that he was on pace for that, which is just amazing.
It's 16 and a half. My last question to you, you're going to be working out this weekend. Deion Sanders is going to be there on behalf of NFL Network. Jamal Adams is going to be there on behalf of NFL Network. What kind of show are you going to put on with everyone watching on the Combine drills?
It's going to be a spectacle. They're going to see my footwork. They're going to say that, wow, this guy really is DB1. And he went out there on Sunday against the best DBs, and he proved it.
Jeff Okudah, I'm sold. That's it. Thanks so much for coming on the show. We're going to go back to the studio in New York. Guys, this is a wonderful young man and a talented defensive back. You can watch him do all of the drills Saturday or Sunday at the Combine when the defensive backs take the field. I cannot wait to see this kid perform.